Well, I hope everyone's having a good start to their day. I tell you what, it's going to be another mild one, but it is going to be a little bit cooler. And it's Friday. Are you excited for the weekend? Because I know I sure am. It looks like we're going to have some pretty good weather this weekend before rain moves in. So there's kind of a lot to unpack. I'm going to try to do it pretty quickly today because it's Friday and I don't want to take too much of your time. But we have a cold front coming through this morning. That sparked some severe weather yesterday. A couple tornado reports across portions of Tennessee just outside of our coverage area. I heard of some damage near Oak Ridge. We had a touchdown north of Cookeville. So there was some active weather yesterday. Fortunately for our coverage area here across parts of southeast Tennessee, North Georgia, northeast Alabama, and even western North Carolina, fairly unscathed. But again, it's almost severe weather season. We're getting closer and closer to those cold and warm airs clashing repeatedly, and that's where you start to get some very active weather. So just go ahead and have that severe plan ready to rock and roll. Today, temperature is going to vary a little bit. Generally going to be in the upper 50s north of Chattanooga, low to mid 60s across North Georgia. And looking at your satellite radar, so there's that front bringing us some slightly cooler air. It's not a powerful front. It's not a January front that's going to drop us down below freezing, but there still will be a couple showers lingering along that boundary today. Right now, mainly across northwest Georgia, parts of northeast Alabama. Not going to be a lot to work with moisture-wise today, but if you're going to be south of Chattanooga, I would say Dalton, Calhoun, Ellijay, Scottsboro, Fort Payne, you're going to have a bit of a better chance of seeing some of those spotty showers. Tomorrow, trending drier and very warm. We're going to have this surge of warm air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. 80 is going to be possible in places like Jackson, Mississippi, Montgomery, Alabama, parts of southeast Texas, northern parts of Louisiana for us. Mid-70s certainly on the table. If we get sunshine early in the day, we're talking record temperatures potentially going down in places like Chattanooga. Again, our records go all the way back to 1879, and the warmest day we've had on February 8th at least is 76 back in 1937. So we could tie that record, maybe even beat it tomorrow. It's going to be warm. If you like the spring-like weather, get out and enjoy it. So here's a look at your next 48 hours or so. So again, a couple spotty showers here and there today. Not going to be a huge deal. And then going into tonight, clearing out a little bit. Saturday, maybe a sprinkle or two. Some clouds early. Should get a little bit of that cloud cover breaking throughout the day, I think during the afternoon especially. And then we'll have some more showers coming in during, I would say, the late evening. We can actually put this into the future a little bit more. We'll throw 48 hours into the future so you can see what's going on Saturday evening. Again, we have this weak little front coming through, so late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, probably going to be some showers out there. That'll taper off by Sunday morning. So, just something to be mindful of. But I think the daylight hours on both Saturday and Sunday generally going to be dry, with the exception of some rain on Sunday night or Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Again, things are looking pretty good for your weekend. That all changes next week in a big way. We're going to have a very active pattern setting up. The storm track's pretty much going to be right over us. Cold air is going to be to the north, mild air here across the southeast, which means we're just going to be dealing with some rain. But those to the north, in New England, parts of the Midwest, the plains, could be dealing with quite a bit of snow here over the next little bit. But again, no winter weather coming our way. But as we take a look, again, this is just one model guidance. It just shows you what could happen and what likely will happen throughout the week next week. Beginning Monday, I don't think Monday is going to be a big rain day. We'll have some showers around. But as we get into your Tuesday, look at this. Tuesday morning, just a slug of moisture starting to pop up across parts of the southeast. On the north end of that could be some decent snow in places like D.C., New York, the Mid-Atlantic. But for us, throughout the day on Tuesday, heavy rain for our entire coverage area, not just Chattanooga. I'm talking Ellijay, Athens, Blue Ridge, all of our surrounding communities, and snow up in places like Boston, New England. So they haven't had some good snow, and it feels like years now, but it looks like they could get a barrage of winter storms for the Northeast and parts of the plains. For us, we'll get breaks in the rain here and there, but here it comes again on Wednesday. More snow for the northern tier of the country, more heavy rain for us down here in the south. And that will continue all the way up into Thursday. Look at that. Heavy snow in Boston, Buffalo. Heavy rain Thursday morning for parts of the Tennessee Valley. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have multiple rounds of rain. A lot of low pressures just tracking across the country, one after another, basically. And that's just going to give us a barrage of heavy rain on average over the next 7 days. Thinking, this is actually old. I need to update this. This was from yesterday. I thought I had already done that, but we're talking 4 to 5 inches of rain across southeast Tennessee. 5 inches plus in this red area across northeast Alabama and parts of the plateau, and then another 4 to 5. So we're talking 4 to 5 inches area wide here over pretty much our entire coverage area. Localized areas could pick up even more than that. And then as we fast forward, this is the European model rainfall amounts all the way through next weekend. Look at this. 5, 6, maybe 7 inches of rain going to be possible. That's going to cause some flooding concerns at some point next week. But look at the GFS. This is also through next weekend. Upwards of 10 inches of rainfall. I'm not saying we're going to get that much, but it's a possibility because there's just going to be heavy rain event after heavy rain event. The ground gets saturated. We've been in a drought. There's going to be a lot of runoff, so low-lying areas will have issues. Some of the local creeks and rivers may start to swell at some point towards the end of next week. So that's something that you want to go ahead and keep in the back of your mind. If you live near a flood-prone area and you notice that it floods a lot when it rains, you might want to find an alternative route, especially if you go through paths that have low-lying areas near rivers or poor drainage areas, because we are going to get a lot of rainfall, and that's a pattern that's going to continue even through the next 6 to 10 days. It's trending wet across much of the southeast, so plenty of rain to come. Haven't had a whole lot of it, seems like, over the last 6-7 months, but that's all going to change. This will be a drought-busting rain, no doubt, because we are now dealing with extreme drought conditions for Dayton, Athens, parts of Bradley and Hamilton counties, severe drought into Chattanooga and Cleveland, and moderate drought from Murphy to Dalton to Fort Payne. So our entire coverage area in some sort of a drought, and I guarantee you in 2 weeks this is going to look completely different because we are going to get a whole lot of rain coming our way. Now let's transition over to temperatures really quick, and then I promise you I'll let you go. Here's a look at the next 7 days. Near record temperatures tomorrow, cooling down next week. So we're going to have generally 50s each day with some rain. It's going to be cool, rainy, dreary, just not great outdoors weather. And your temperature trend over the next 6 to 10 days still favoring warmer than normal conditions across the southeast, cooler air to the north, and then warmer than normal conditions all the way through almost the end of February. So February is usually a month where we can get winter weather. The climatology favors February and January, obviously, but by the end of February, our average high goes from about 53 to almost 60 degrees. So if we do get below normal temperatures heading into March, that may mean just the 50s. So yeah, we can still get winter weather. Winter's not over just yet, but it's looking pretty bleak if you're a snow lover, at least over the next couple of weeks. But March always is full of surprises, and sometimes the end of February is too. If you recall, back in 2015, February 25th, it snowed over 8 inches in Chattanooga. So not saying that's going to happen, but it's always on the table. Here's a look at your pattern trend. Cold air stays locked up through this weekend. That warm flow across much of the southeast through, again, Sunday. And then next week, through Valentine's Day, we're going to have that active storm track where you get the cold air to the north and warm air to the south. In the middle of that, someone's going to get ice, probably in the Ohio Valley, heavy snow on the north end of this. It's going to be warmer in the south. So that's just kind of the pattern that we're going to be in for the next week or so. And then by February 17th, 18th, there could be a bit of a pattern change. That cold air tries to drop further to the south. That's something I'm going to watch closely, because is that ridge going to be able to break down enough for that jet stream to drop to the south and pull that cold air a little further to the south? It's a possibility. So there could be a pattern change coming up. It might be 10, 11 days from now, but it's possible, and it's at least something I'm watching. I'm not sold on it yet, but it is a possibility. But notice your European trends, or European model trends for temperatures do bring at least cooler, more seasonable air for much of the middle of the month. No really cold intrusions of Arctic air, but there could be some cold days ahead, at least through the middle and end of the month, so we'll keep an eye on that. But snowfall not looking good over the next 10 days. This is all the way through February 17th. But notice how you got these bright colors up in New Jersey, New York, Boston, up through Maine. That's where the heavy snow could be. So New England, the Northeast, I-95 corridor could get popped here over the next 10 days with heavy snow. Also some heavy snow across the higher elevations out west, the Rocky Mountains, and even some decent snowfall potential across the central and southern plains, and maybe even as far south as Arkansas. So nothing big coming our way, but there will be some cooler days ahead. So just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind. If anything changes, of course, I'll let you know. And then looking ahead over your next 7 days or so, and then we're going to wrap things up. Pretty nice this weekend. Some rain late Saturday into early Sunday, and then next week, especially late Monday, all the way through the end of the week, we're talking multiple rounds of heavy rain. Could pick up several inches with some flooding issues showing up by the middle of the week. So I'll be back in, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Monday morning for the latest. Be sure to tune in, and have a great weekend.